Bodybuilding championships that took place yesterday at the Sarit Expo Center here in Nairobi. It was the third edition of the Mr. and Miss East Africa Bodybuilding Championships. Now I want us to shift gears. We get into a conversation this afternoon, and it's all about the Global Satellite Backyard Ultra Run that will be going down a week from now. In studio, I am joined by Nyarwai Muhoro, who's the race assistant director, and Eric Prono, who's an ultra athlete. So we want to get into that conversation. Good afternoon, Nyarwai. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Eric, how are you?
I'm very fine.
Having a fantastic weekend so far, Nyarwai?
Yes, so far.
Eric?
Yeah.
Yes, I want us to get into this conversation. And as we were having a conversation with my colleagues before the show began, they were asking, what's, ultra running, Nyarwai? What is it all about?
Ultra running is anything above the 42.2 kilometers normal marathon run. Mm-hmm. So if you run 42.3 kilometers, you're basically an ultra runner. So you will find competitive runs for 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 100 miler, which is 160 kilometers, 240 kilometers. Mm-hmm. So anything above 42 kilometers is an ultra run.
Yes, and this is something that has been happening in Kenya. How long have we had the, ultra running?
Ultra running has been there for as long as running has been there. Mm-hmm. It's the drive by people to push themselves beyond the normal comfort zone and see how far their endurance can take them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, Eric Prono, I mean, how long have you been a participant in ultra running?
Oh, this ultra running, this is my third year. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I started with mountaineering and then shift gears into ultra running. So for the last 3 years, I've been doing this.
Mm-hmm. Where did that urge come from to get into ultra running? I mean, most people know of the normal marathons that Nyarwai said of 42.2 kilometers, but where did the urge that, I don't want to take part in the normal, marathons. I want to get into something totally different.
Okay, I've been doing marathons for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And then mountaineering also, running in the mountains. So I wanted something challenging because I found marathons, they were too basic for everyone. Yes. So I wanted something to, challenge my body.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this whole time that you've been participating, how has it been for you?
It has been good because my body has learned a lot in terms of endurance, in terms of nutrition, sports nutrition. Mm-hmm. So my body has actually acclimatized to that. Yes. And I think I'm good.
Yes. Yeah. Nyarwai, now the Global Satellite Backyard Ultra Run, what is it all about? And this is the first time that Kenya is participating.
Globally.
Globally.
Yeah.
What is it all about?
The Backyard Run is a 6.7 kilometer loop that is set somewhere.
Yes.
It can be in any place of choice. Mm-hmm. This time round, we are doing it in Thika, at Thika Grove. Mm-hmm. Then what happens is at the top of every hour, all the participants are at the start point, and they run the 6.7 kilometers in 1 hour. Mm-hmm. And at the top of the next hour, every participant who's at the start line can continue. Mm-hmm. So it's a 6.7 kilometer loop that you run in each hour. So you can run it for 30 minutes, depending on your speed. You can run it for 55 minutes. So you basically organize yourself. Mm-hmm. If you're not able to finish by the time 1 hour is finished, then you drop off. Mm-hmm. So the backyard is run until we only have one person standing.
Yes.
And that is the last man standing, and that is the winner.
So the last man standing is the winner.
And the last man standing is the winner. And the second last man standing is the assist.
Yes.
So we will run and run and run until we have only one person standing. Mm-hmm. The last backyard ultra that we had in March, we had the last person running for 28 hours. Mm-hmm. That is 156.
28 hours is crazy.
Yes, that's 156 kilometers. Mm-hmm. The second last person did 27 hours. Mm-hmm. The last backyard before that, we had the last person running 26 hours. Mm-hmm. The second last running, obviously, 25 hours. Mm-hmm.
So, and like the normal marathons that we have, where, the person with the least time is the winner, this is the person that takes the most time.
It's an endurance test.
Yes.
It's literally an endurance test. And we go, as a country, we go as far as our field is, because you cannot do 40 hours if the last person you were competing with did 24 hours. So once you are only left 2 people, then you continue until one person is left running. So if you have a field that can run 40 hours, then as a country we can run 40 hours. If you have a field that can run only 15 hours, then we'll run only up to 15 hours. So the time that we have one person left alone, they run one last loop, and they become the last man standing.
Yes, and we have 56 countries participating in the global event, and you are doing it virtually. You know, if you can explain on that.
So it's a global backyard event. We have 56 countries running together, as you've said. So what's happening is we're going to be broadcasting our run. So we'll have cameras showing the front where the run starts, and the cameras will be on throughout the run until our country is done with the run. And we will be broadcasting that on Zoom and on YouTube, so that we are able to get our global rating together with the other countries at the top of every hour. So once the time starts, so we'll start on the 19th on Saturday at 3 p.m. Kenya time, which is 8 a.m. Central Africa, America time.
Central CAT.
CAT. It's 8 a.m. CAT. And everybody in the world will start at 8 a.m. CAT. So you synchronize with your local time. So we'll start at 3 p.m. Get right through into the night. So we'll be broadcasting at 3 p.m. They will want to see how many people have started and how many people have finished at the top of the hour, and how many people started at the next hour. And we'll continue that way until we finish, because we are getting scored on points depending on how many people finish each particular hour.
Yes, Eric, what is the longest distance that you've covered, and how did it feel? Because as Nyarai said, you know, the last time we had it, rather the last competition that was done here in Kenya, we had somebody run for 28 hours and they covered 186 kilometers. What is the farthest you've covered?
Okay, in terms of ultra running, apart from the, you know, backyard is part of ultra running. So in terms of ultra running, I think the longest I've done is 160 kilometers.
160 kilometers?
Yeah, in Mount Kenya. And yeah, backyard ultra, I've done, the most I've done is 13 loops, which equates to around 90 kilometers.
Well, that is a big distance. Yes, so now that you're among the 15 athletes that will be participating in the global event for the first time, you know, what are the expectations that you have on yourself taking part in this?
Okay, my expectation is, since, you know, this is a global event, and it's somehow a new sport in Kenya, and we are trying to, you know, put our name out there in terms of backyard ultra. You know, many people are used to marathons and other sports, but this is a new sport. So we want to, personally, I would love to, you know, place Kenya somewhere there. So we are striving to do as much loops as possible. We are targeting at least 3 days of running. That is from 19th all the way on Saturday, all the way up to Monday.
Till the 21st? Till
the 21st as a team. Because now as a team, when you finish, individually when you finish a loop, you are awarded 1 point. So the 15 of us, you know, we are going to, it's teamwork. So each one of us will give 1 point to the team. So the more loops we do, the more points we garner, and you know, we will want to put ourselves out there as one of the best.
Yes, Nyarai, we have 15 athletes representing Kenya in this global event, and one will want to know, you know, how was the selection process? I know you had an event in March where you selected the 15 that will represent Kenya. How was the selection process?
It's basically, again, the last man standing. It's the top 15 from this year and last year. Because of availability of people. We also had foreigners who were running with us. So if you don't have residents, then you can't compete for the country. So out of the top 15 from the March event, We took those who are available and ready, because again, runners might also pick injuries along the way. Those who are ready, and then we added them to the ones who are available from the top of last year.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we picked the top.
Yes, and you know, gradually, ultra running is gaining some popularity in the country.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
It's a very good thing, because there's a lot more to running than just putting on a pair of shoes and running out for a 5K.
Yes.
Running is, like Eliud says, the cheapest sport that you can do.
Yes.
And it's very good for your mental health. So seeing the sport grow, there's a lot more that we can do. There's a lot more space. Whoever knew that there are world competitions in ultra running that Kenya could compete in?
Yes.
Not only as individuals, because we've seen individuals go out to Cape Town and Europe to compete in ultras. So this means also as a country we are growing the sport, and we're growing as a community, and we are offering a lot more options to people, and telling them this is not your limit. How much more can you push yourself? Where can you go? And we're offering a safe space, because this is a 6.7 kilometer loop, which is protected. At night we have policemen. It's in a field, it's in somebody's farm. So you're not afraid of, will I be mugged? Are there animals? So it's a safe space for you to try and see how far you can push yourself. And for this run that we're having over the weekend, we don't only have the 15 competitors.
Yes.
It's also open to the public.
Yes.
Other people can come and run, see whether are you able to run or one loop, which is 6.7 kilometers. Are you able to run 2? Are you able to run 4? And see, so that the next edition that we have, the 5th edition, see how much more can you push yourself. How they get to qualify is the first we actually have a lady. The last year she only ran 4 loops.
Yes.
This year she was able to run 12 loops. So it's a factor of what did I do this year and what have I done during the year to improve myself, improve my endurance, and see how much more else can I achieve. And she was able to achieve and become among the 15 competitors. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this conversation, Eric, what is Pesetas Kenya?
Okay, Pesetas Kenya, this is, I also do marathons. Apart from ultra running, we have a group called Ultra Runners Kenya.
Yes.
In fact, guys should follow us in Instagram and Facebook. You can follow, and then maybe you can register for the run. She has said it's open to the public.
Yes.
And no ultra running, maybe people should not fear, because it's not about speed. And for the 1 hour, the 6.7 kilometers.
Yes.
You have 1 hour to run 6.7 kilometers. So averagely, most people do the run between 45 to, let's say, 50 minutes. So you have 10 minutes to rest. And even if you try you to walk, like we've tried before, you can walk the whole 6.7 kilometers, and it can take you like 55 minutes. So it will still be within the 1 hour. So about Pesetas, this is a group that I am part of. It's a running group.
Yes.
We do marathons and training together. So it's apart from ultra running, so it's
also
it's a
running group. Yes, you're right. As we wrap up, what should Kenyans expect on the 19th to the 21st?
The 19th to the 21st, we are targeting 45 hours. And we are targeting as a group to have a minimum of 30 hours, which will mean that we'll be able to get 15 points each hour for the first 30 hours. Then if we can have our last man standing go beyond 45 hours, that would be very good for us as a country. And the winner, if we are the top 6 people, the top 15 people globally, our winner gets to go to America and compete in person in the global backyard. That would be a very good thing.
Yes, thank you very much, Jerai Muhoro, who's the Assistant Race Director, and Eric Prono, who's also an ultra runner. Eric, of course, will be participating at the Global Satellite Backyard Ultra Run that will be taking place on the 19th to the 21st of this month, and of course we'll be waiting to see how well they perform. This is the first time Kenya is taking part in that, and Eric has said, of course, he expects the 15 participants that will be representing the country to put Kenya on the map when it comes to, you know, the global ultra running. And before we wrap up, let's get into some UEFA Nations League action. And yesterday we had a couple of matches on the cards, but let's begin with Spain. Zubimendi scored the only goal of the match as Spain got a 1-0 win.